Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to solve Cambridge Igcse Chemistry Paper 4 Theory Extended. For the session of February-March 2023, we have the subject code 0620 and the variant is 42. We have 1 hour 15 minutes for the paper time and the total marks for this paper is 80. Okay, we are going to start our paper from question number 1. Question number 1 is that the question is about the gases that are found in the clean, dry air and gases found in the polluted air. Name one gas found in the clean, dry air which contributes to the global warming. So we know that which gas contribute to the global warming, that is carbon dioxide. So we are going to write here carbon dioxide. Moving to next question, state the percentage of nitrogen in the clean dry air, that is 78%. We know that. Name the substance that is used to remove the sulfur dioxide in the flue gas desulfurization. We know that for removing desulfurization, it is an acidic oxide, so we're gonna use basic oxides. So sulfur dioxide is basic oxide. For the acidic oxide, so the removal for the acidic oxide we should use basic oxide, and basic oxide we are gonna use in this case is calcium oxide. So we're gonna write our answer here, calcium oxide. Moving to its D part. D part is that nitrogen dioxide gas is formed in car engines. Name the equipment name the equipment in a car exhaust used to remove the NO2 formed in car engines. So we want to change NO2 to N2, and we know that nitrogen gas is abundantly available in the atmosphere, so we are gonna use catalytic converter. Okay, moving to E part. All gases diffuse, and diffusion is moving from higher concentration to lower concentration. Choose from the list of formula for the gas which diffuse most quickly. Okay, we know that which have the lighter mass would diffuse most rapidly. So we know that the mass of the carbon is 12, and 12 plus 16, it would be 28 molar mass, and 12 plus 16 into plus 16, it would be 44. And for hydrogen 4 plus carbon 12, it would be 16. NO2 would be 28 plus 16 into 16, 14 into 14 plus 32, it would be equal to 46. And for sulfur, S is 32 and oxygen 16 into 2, 32, and it would be 64. And the lowest mass here should be circle, so we're gonna circle CH4 would diffuse most quickly because it is lighter, its mass is lighter. Explain your answer to 1. We already, because it has a lower molecular mass, so that's why it will diffuse most rapidly. Moving to F part. State one adverse effect of carbon monoxide on human health. Okay, it is a toxic gas, and we know that it would bind to hemoglobin and preventing it from binding the oxygen. So we can write over here, it is a toxic gas and bind to hemoglobin and preventing it from binding with oxygen. Binding with oxygen. Moving to G part. Carbon dioxide CO2 is a reactant in photosynthesis. Name the two products of photosynthesis, and we know that the two products are oxygen and glucose. So this is the question related to photosynthesis. Okay, moving to its H part. Okay, moving to its H part, complete the dot and cross diagram in figure 1.1. Okay, for the molecule of CO2, show the outer electrons only. Okay, we need to show only the outer electron. We know that carbon have 4 electrons in their outermost shell and oxygen have 6 electrons. So we're gonna draw dot over here, 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 over here as well. You need to draw cross over here and dot over here. Okay, this is how we have completed dot and cross diagram. So this was a simple question. Now moving to question number 2. Question number 2 is from the topic of periodic table. Lithium, sodium and potassium are group 1 element. We know that. Name the type of bonding in these elements. Group 1 are metals, so the type of bonding here would be metallic bonding. So we're gonna write over here metallic bonding. Okay, sodium reacts with cold water to form hydrogen gas and a solution of strong alkali. Okay, so I'm writing, you don't need to write in expression or chemical reaction over here. I'm just writing it for your explanation and understanding. So it will produce NaOH plus H2. So state the test for the hydrogen gas. So we need to test for the hydrogen gas. We know that it would be lighted splint. So this would be test lighted splint. Positive result. What would be the positive? It would have squeaky pop sound. So you will directly identify by its squeaky pop sound, like that. Okay, moving to suggest the pH of a solution of a strong alkali. We know that pH of a strong alkali is 14. Name a substance which can be used to confirm the pH of a solution of a strong alkali. We can use universal indicator for this and identification. So we are gonna write over here universal indicator as our answer. Write down the symbol equation for the reaction between sodium and cold water. I have already mentioned it. It would be like that. Include state symbol as well. So you need to balance as well and write state symbol as well. So it would be Na plus H2O and it would produce NaOH plus H2. And we know that H2 would be gas and sodium here would be taken as in the solid form. NaOH would be aqueous in the solution and H2O would be liquid. So these are the state symbol. Now we need to balance our equation. So we're gonna write 2 to balance hydrogen and also need to write over 2 here and also need to write 2 over here. So this is the balanced chemical equation. You can see 2 sodium and 2 sodium, 4 hydrogen, 2 plus 2, 4 hydrogen, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. So this is a complete balanced equation. Moving to its C part, lithium has 2 naturally occurring types of atoms, lithium Li6 and Li7. Isotopes are those that have the same atomic number but different mass number. Okay, state the name given to the atoms of the same element with different nucleon numbers. So we are call them isotopes. So that will be our answer. Next part is complete the table 2.1 to show the number of proton, electrons, neutrons in the atom and ion of lithium. Okay, this is the lithium ion Li positive and we know that lithium as a neutral have this situation, and for the ionic equation it is a positive, so it would be like that. Okay, so proton number would be same because proton doesn't change and they have the different number of neutrons. So we are gonna 6 minus 3, we're gonna write over here 3, 7 minus 3, we're gonna write over here 4, and number of electrons would be 3 here, but it loses an electron to form positive ion. That's why we're gonna write over here 3 minus 2 1. Okay, 3 minus 1 2. Moving to its other part, table 2.2 shows the relative abundance of the two naturally occurring atoms of lithium. Table 2. Atom and lithium abundancy of 6 is 10% and lithium abundancy of 7 is 90%. So calculate the relative atomic mass of the lithium to 1 decimal. So we're gonna multiply 6 by its 10%, 6 multiplied by 10, then 7 to its percentage into 90. Now you need to divide by 100. So we're gonna get our answer as 6.9. So our answer for the relative atomic mass of lithium is 6.7. Moving to its D part, the D part is related to ionic compound. Potassium oxide K2O is an ionic compound. Complete figure 2.1 to show the electronic configuration of the ions in the potassium oxide. So we know that potassium have the electronic configuration of 281 2 okay, when it loses an electron it form positive ion, and when oxygen receive 2 electrons it form 2 negative ion, and when potassium again it also form positive ion. Now we need to write the formula for the potassium oxide. It would be like that, K2O. So the formula for potassium oxide would be K2O. So this was the simple question number 2. Now we will move to the question number 3. Question number 3, first part is related to the first few parts are related to the Haber's process, then it to energetics, then I think it is to the rate of reaction. So we're gonna start. The Haber process is used to manufacture ammonia. State the main source of each gas used in the Haber process. So nitrogen has the main source is air, and hydrogen has the main source of is methane. Okay, the equation for the Haber process is given. N2 plus 3H2 reversible reaction would give us 2 moles of ammonia to NH3, and the enthalpy change at heat of the reaction is minus 92 kilojoule per mole. The reaction is reversible. The Favre reaction is exothermic. State what is meant by delta H. I have already mentioned it. It is known as enthalpy change. Delta H for the Favre reaction is minus 92 kilojoule per mole. State why this value show that the Favre reaction is exothermic, because delta H is negative. State the typical condition and name the catalyst used in the Haber's process. So temperature we're gonna use is 450. Pressure we are going to use is 20,000 kilopascal, and catalyst would be iron over here. Moving to its fourth part, complete table 3.1. Okay, to show the effect if any when the typical condition in the Haber process are changed, use only the word increases, decreases, or no change. So we are this is the simple question. First, change to typical condition, that is temperature increase. When the temperature is increased, we know that rate of our reaction increases. What would be the effect of the concentration of ammonia in the equilibrium? At the equilibrium state, it would decrease. According to Le Chatelier, any change in the position will try to undermine that change. Okay, when the pressure is decreases, we know that the Favre reaction is also decreases. Okay. And what would the effect of the concentration of the ammonia? Also, the concentration of ammonia would also decreases. When no catalyst has added, the effect of the rate of concentration would be decreases. Yes. Oh, and what happened to the effect on the concentration of ammonia at the equilibrium? No change will take place. So we're gonna write over here, no change. Moving to its fifth part, explain in terms of collision theory why increasing temperature increasing the temperature increases the rate of the reaction. We know that kinetic energy of when we increase the temperature, actually particles start to vibrate more rapidly. When they would get energy more, they would vibrate more, and the chances of the collision due to their more vibration would increase. So this would increase the pressure. That's where in rate of reaction would increase. So we're gonna write our answer like that. Kinetic energy of the particles will increase, so they will move faster. Thus, more frequent collision occur. Higher number of particles will have higher energy equal to or more the activation energy required to react. So this is our answer. Moving to its other part, C part. Ammonia reacts with an acid to form ammonium sulfate. State the formula used. State the formula of the acid used. So we know that for ammonium sulfate, sulfuric acid would be used. It would be H2SO4. Moving to other parts, state one use of ammonium sulfate. We know that ammonium sulfate is used as a fertilizer. Moving to next part, calculate the percentage mass of nitrogen in ammonium sulfate. So first we're gonna calculate the molar mass of ammonium sulfate. It would be 2 moles of nitrogen, 2 into 14 plus hydrogen has 4 into 2. Then it would be sulfur has 1 into 32 and oxygen have 16 into 4. So our answer would be 132. And we know that nitrogen have a mass of 28 from this 14 into 2. So 28 over 132 multiplied by 100. We're gonna get the percentage that is equal to 21.2%. So that would be our final answer, 21.2%. Okay, this is how we have completed question number 3. Question number 3 was easy and simple. Moving to question number 4. Question number 4 is that copper is element 29 in the periodic table. Brass contains copper. Name the other metal in the brass. We know that other metal in the brass would be zinc. So we're gonna write our answer, zinc. State the term given to the mixture of a metal with another element. This term is known as alloy. Alloy is a mixture of metal with another element. Okay, copper can be, B part is that copper can be stretched into wires. Copper wires conduct electricity. Name the properties of metal which mean that they can be stretched into the wires. So it would be ductile. So the property over here would be ductile. Now a second part, name the particles responsible for the conduction of electricity in the solid copper. It would be, the particles would be electrons that are responsible for the conduction. Next part is copper is a transition element and some physical and chemical properties of the transition elements are shown. Physical properties, they have high density and high strength. Chemical properties, they form colorful compound and have ions with variable oxidation number. State one other physical property of transition element. They are hard and have, or you can write they have high melting point, or you can write simply they are hard. Okay, next part is state one other chemical property of transition element. We know that transition element mostly are used as a catalyst. So we're gonna write our answer, used as a catalyst. Moving to the next part. Next part, D part, is that hydrated copper sulfate is a color compound CuSO4.5H2. It has a color of blue, that is also called as blue vitriol, that is a poison. Okay, now we read the rest of the question. It exists as a hydrated crystal which contain water molecules. We know that .5H2O. I'm writing the formula over here, CuSO4.5H2O. State the term given to the water molecules presented in the hydrated crystals. So the term we use is water of crystallization. Water of crystallization. State the color of hydrated copper sulfate crystal. Hydrated copper sulfate color would be blue. I have already mentioned it while describing the question. Write the formula for hydrated copper sulfate. Again, I have written it, CuSO4.5H2O. Moving to its E part, copper oxide is formed when copper nitrate is heated. State the class of oxide to which the copper 2 oxide belongs to. Okay, copper oxide belongs to actually basic oxide. So we're gonna write our answer here, basic oxide. State the meaning of the Roman numeral 2 in the name copper 2 oxide. It shows the oxidation number. So we're gonna write our answer. It shows the oxidation number. Moving to its third part belongs to the topic of moles. 0.0200 moles of copper nitrate is heated. Calculate the mass of 0.0200 moles of copper nitrate. So we are going to calculate the mass of copper. First we need to calculate the molar mass of Mr of CuNO3 whole twice. It would be 64 plus 14 into 2, then plus 16 into 6, because 6 atoms of elements of oxygen are present. So after adding it, we get our answer, that is 188. Now we need to calculate the mass. The formula for the mass would be moles multiplied by molar mass or molecular mass. So we have already calculated it. Moles is given 0.0200 multiplied by 188. We're gonna get the answer. It would be 3.76 grams. So we're gonna write our answer as 3.76 grams. Next part is calculate the total volume of gas in dm cube at RTP produced when 0.0200 moles of copper nitrate is heated. So we need to calculate the volume. So from the above equation we know that there are 2 moles of copper nitrate, and we also know that there are 5 moles of gas, 4 of nitrogen oxide and 1 for oxygen. So there are ratio between solid and the gas is 2:5. So we're gonna use our answer here 2:5, and if there would be 1 mole of it, it would be 5/2. 5/2 means 2.5. Now if there are 0.02 moles according to our given condition, and we are going to multiply 2.5 by 0.02 moles, so we get the answer, that is equal to 0.05. so equal to 0.05. We're gonna multiply this by molar volume, and molar volume of any gas is 24 decimeter cube. After multiplying 0.05 into 24, we get the answer, that is equal to 1.2 decimeter cube. So this is our final answer. First, we use the concept of molar ratio. 2 moles of copper nitrate and total 4 plus 1 is the gaseous moles. Then we compare it to the unit. 1 moles of this would produce 5 by 2, it is equal to 2.5. Then 0.02 would be multiplied by 12.5 would get our answer, that is equal to 1.2. Moving to its fifth part, powdered aluminium reduce copper to oxide. Write the symbol for the equation. Okay, we need to write the symbol for the equation. So 2 aluminium will 3 copper oxide, it give you aluminium dioxide plus 3 carbon. So this would be 3 copper. So this would be our balance equation. Okay, so this is how we have completed question number 4. Now moving to the last question of our paper, question number 5. Question number 5 is from the topic of organic chemistry, and this is the last question. Okay, propane, propane 1-ol and propanoic acid, too much propanes, are members of different homologous series. Molecules of these substances contain 3 carbon atoms. Okay, we know that propane all have 3 carbon atoms. Okay, explain why members of a homologous series has similar chemical properties if they have the same functional group. So they would show same chemical properties. So we're gonna write they have same functional group. Name the homologous series to which propanoic acid belong to. It belongs to carboxylic acid. Moving to C part, state the general formula for the homologous series. Okay, general formula is CN H2N plus 1 and COOH. This is the general formula. Propane 1-ol has an unbranched isomer. Name the isomer. Okay, I'm gonna write is propane 2-ol. Draw the structure formula of this isomer. So first you need to draw 3 carbon, and at second position you need to draw OH, and rest of it you need to complete with hydrogen, 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 and hydrogen. Okay, next part is that propane and propene can be manufactured by heating decane C10H22 in the presence of catalyst. One other product is formed. Okay, propane and propene are formed and one other product is formed. Complete the equation. We know that propane has a formula of C3H8, and we also know that propene has a formula of C3H6. Now we need to identify how many carbons are left. There are 10 carbons and 3 are covered here and 3, so 4 carbon atoms are left. And how many hydrogen atoms? 8 plus 6, 14, and 22 minus 14 would be 8. So it will produce butene, C4H8. Name the manufacturing process. The manufacturing process where we use larger hydrocarbons or larger alkanes to break down into the simple or small branches or small organic compound, that is known as cracking. Moving to its F part. F part is that propane forms a polymer named polypropene. Okay, draw the displayed formula of section of a polypropene showing 3 repeat units. We need to show the 3. Okay, first I will identify it like that, C, 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 and it would be like that, CH3, and over here would be hydrogen. Over here would 1 2 3, there would be nothing over here. Over here would be hydrogen, and over here as well hydrogen. So this is the formula of the propene. When this double bond is break, then this carbon and this carbon need to make another bond. So it would be like that, C, C, and this would be like that, CH3 and H and H and this hydrogen. Now this double bond is break. Now this need to make another bond, and this also need to make another bond, so they will form a long chain hydrocarbon, and then the propene would attach same way. So you are going to write hydrogen and hydrogen. We are required to form 3 repeat units. So there are 1, there are 2. Now third repeating unit would be like that. So this is how we have completed. State the type of polymerization that occur when propene forms polypropene. So it is an example of an addition reaction. Moving to its G part, propanoic acid react with aqueous sodium carbonate to form salt. Suggest the name of salt form. It would be sodium propanate. Okay, suggest the formula for the anion in the salt. It would be like that. Okay, propanoic acid form an ester when it reacts with ethanol in the presence of a catalyst. Suggest a suitable catalyst. That would be sulfuric acid. Name the ester form. It would be ethyl propanate. Draw the displayed formula of the ester. It would be like that. You need to draw first 3 carbon, then you need to draw at the 3rd carbon double bond of oxygen, then you need to draw oxygen, then you need to draw 2 more carbon atom. Now you need to complete all the bonds like that. It would be like that. So this is how we have completed our paper. This was the simple paper of containing different concepts. You need to revise some of the concept like moles and organic chemistry especially, and the periodic table as well. That part of the paper belongs to carry the much more marks. If you do have any queries related to these questions, you can ask in the comments section. I would answer you in detail. Hopefully you get the idea of this paper and you get the understanding of this paper. If you do like and find this video helpful, then share with your friends, and also don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thank you so much for watching the video. Okay, Allah Hafiz.